Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Chasing Rabbits. My name is Scott Brown, and you'll find my vlog dedicated to helping you become the leader you always wished that you had worked for. So last night I did a video on MLK Day. And for some reason, I don't know what it was that I said, but it seems as though Facebook took my video down. It just disappeared. No idea why. I didn't say anything controversial, didn't say anything inappropriate, but it's gone. No idea why. So yes, I did a video, and if you were one of the 5 people that watched it live, you know it was there, but it's gone now into the nether regions of who knows where, Facebook jail for saying something, who knows what I said. But there was a message last night that because it's down, I think that it's important to still share this because I think it was kind of an important message. I share this, and it's something that I am passionate about. So I grew up in an area of Pittsburgh that was predominantly white. I mean, really, really white. Because of that, I didn't learn anything about Martin Luther King Jr. or the Civil Rights Movement or any of the history I probably should have learned. I didn't learn until I went to college. And it wasn't even that I took college classes about it. I just got interested and started reading and realized that the history that I was taught was not the history that completely happened. There was a second side to the story that I wished I would have known. My challenge to everybody is this. We have all been taught things that we only know one side of the story. There's a whole nother side of history out there that is still very important for us to know because it greatly impacts so many people that live here, greatly impacts our communities, it impacts our societies, it impacts our teams, impacts our organizations, impacts our friends, and we just don't know it. So I encourage all of you to go out, and that history that you only know one side of, but you have this periphery knowledge that maybe there's another side, go and do some research. Go find out some stuff. Go learn things. As Jethro Gibbs would say from NCIS, go learn things. I think it's important that as adults, whether you're leading or not, that we're continually growing. I think that's an incredibly important part of our journey is to keep growing, keep learning, and if you don't know something, go find it. Very important to do because the growth aspect, that is very much a part of leadership. Well, it takes me into the message that I want to give you for tonight, a 2-for-1 special, let's say. So tonight, I've come to realize that you can't want something for someone more than they want for themselves. And just because you're doing what you think is right for the many doesn't mean that everybody is going to always be behind you. You are going to get pushback and resistance and friction from well-meaning individuals who, for whatever reason, think that it's more important to push back than it is to join in. Now, if you are working within a nonprofit organization, when you're working within a volunteer type organization, there's nothing saying that somebody has to join you. There's no positional influence you can place over somebody to say, hey, I need you to do this thing. It's all about leadership. It's all about trying to guide people towards a better future. I have found this year that I have been able to make a huge impact in how people are perceiving Toastmasters and how people are perceiving their own development, in the journey people are taking together, and the journey that people have set out forth on their own to try to become better versions of themselves. And for the many, we have started to form a great community to move forward together as a whole. That doesn't mean everybody's on board. If you have folks on your team that are kind of in the periphery of your team that are the ones that are trying to put the brakes on, know this is part of the process. That doing something different is going to always be scary and different, and it doesn't mean that it's wrong, but it just means that it's scary. And scary sometimes causes people to lash out. Scary sometimes causes people to say, no, what you're doing is different. I don't understand that. I can't process what you're doing. I can't process the words you're asking. But it doesn't make that what you're doing is wrong. It just makes it different. Our history, always gives us kind of a hint over to where those stumbling blocks may be. Now, as somebody who's new to Indiana, I know that I do not by any means have all of the history for my predecessors. I don't have all the history for how we got to the places that we are within our district, within our clubs, within my Toastmasters community here. I don't know it. So I don't have necessarily a history behind. I just know my vision of where I want to see us go. I don't know how we got to here, but I can see where I want us to go. It doesn't mean everybody's going to always want to come on board. My job as a leader is to help them, is to help find out how I can engage those folks who are resistant to join me in my journey, to join us in our journey, to join the district in moving forward for whatever that means. And especially in the year of COVID, when you can't get together, you can't have conversations one-on-one, everything is a little bit more difficult than what it would be normally. But it doesn't mean you have that anybody has the right to lash out on anybody. It doesn't mean anybody has the right to demean anybody either. But it does mean that you have the right to, as a leader, to continue to push forward regardless of whether everybody is on board or not. It's okay if they're not. Sometimes the friction, the momentum you gather will help create a groundswell that will gather up those folks that are most resistant towards the end. And that's okay too. So messages tonight are really twofold. One, go learn some stuff. I have no idea why Facebook took my video down last night, but I think it's an important message. Go learn things, especially if you've only been taught half the story. And secondly, if you're going forward, if you're taking steps to try to better the many, if you aren't being joined by everybody, don't fret. Eventually they'll come around when they see the benefit for the many and they see the benefit for themselves. So until tomorrow, have a wonderful night. I wish you well, and I will see you tomorrow for another edition of Chasing Rabbits. Until then, toast on, my friends. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you later on tomorrow. Bye-bye.